Hello everybody, it's Simstasis here and welcome back to another speed build. In this speed build I have chosen to do an apartment, again a kind of an artsy apartment. I don't know why, considering my first build on this channel was a artsy kind of aesthetic house, and once again I'm going to go for that again. But I was really feeling when I was building this house that I wanted to have a kitchen which looked out over the city. Because one thing that really annoys me with the apartments that came with San Mysuho is that you can't add in any extra windows. And it always limits me on where I want to put things, because usually I will build certain parts of the house where the windows fall. I usually like to have them maybe a little bit more symmetrical with the appliances in the house, and when it comes to the bedroom it really frustrates me that I can't put another window on the other side of the bed because it's off to the left on the way I've built the walls because of the bathroom. But there's not really much I can do with that, and another thing is it annoys me because there's only one single window for the living room, and I'm like, it needs more than one single window. But alas, that's the way, which is the way, I can't think of the word now, the way San Mysuho is built and the way apartments are made. So that's all I can do. But I really thought that having this outlook on the city with like a lovely breakfast bar, you wake up in the morning, grab your cup of coffee, look out across onto the city. And I think this is done in the Arts District. I think I haven't changed the name of the apartment, so you can see which one I built it in. It was like the 121 Hakim House. And what I was kind of going for here was maybe somebody is in the Arts District. That's why I kind of felt like the arty part. But as always, my builds start off with one thing and then I go and change for another. So I kind of had the idea that I was going to do an arty, someone who lived here was an artist, but I didn't know how I was going to, where I was going to put their studio and stuff. And in the end, it just kind of falls, because it's quite a small apartment, it falls kind of in the entranceway of the house. But I wanted to give it a much more modern feel to it. So I really like those wooden slats that came with Get Famous. And then I used the counters from Cool Kitchen, because even though that's quite a new pack and it's not one of many people's favorites, I really do like the counters and the grey colour that came with them. And the only other thing is that I don't like the frosted glass, but I just like the grey. I like the grey colours. It enables you to add like different. I end up making it a bit more yellow in the apartment. So I changed the bar stools to yellow, but I think the grey really works with that. It works with the black, it works with the white. It kind of has quite a wide range at which you can add in different colours on into the house. It's not like you have to have like a blue counter where you're limited on certain colours. You can add different pops of colour in there. And yeah, I kind of noticed when I was looking back on this video, it seems a bit laggy, and I don't know why, because my game was fine when I was recording this, so I don't know why that kind of happened, but hopefully it's not too bad. I did try and cut out some of the really laggy bits, which were incredibly slow, but I couldn't cut out all the footage. So at the moment I'm kind of adding in some of the clutter, which I love doing in the kitchen. But yeah, so just the normal bits adding in the kitchen. I love that little shelving that came with Cool Kitchen as well, and I thought, as I'm using the Cool Kitchen's counters, I might as well go full out on what comes with Cool Kitchen instead of limiting myself to like just the counters or something. But yeah, I think what I was kind of hoping for, I think I did design a sim for this build, and it was just kind of, she was an artsy sim, and that was kind of the aesthetic of which I was going for, and she really liked yellow. So I gave her a lot of yellow colours, and I can't remember the name I gave her off the top of my head. But at the moment it's a little bit dull on the colours, but I really did like the yellow colour scheme, which I do introduce later. And so I did kind of struggle on how to colour the kitchen, because the grey is nice, but then at the same time, how much colour do you add? I really struggled on trying to find a rug which suited this kitchen, because I love sticking rugs in Sims 4. It makes it perfect. Not perfect, sorry, but it really does add extra dimension to the build. And I really did struggle. At first I was thinking, oh, maybe add some pops of colour through the rug, which is the one I used there, but I eventually just go with the grey rug because I think it worked better with the pops of yellow that I add throughout the build. And I think now I'm going to moving on to the dining room. I really like this table that comes with get famous. Well, I keep saying get together, but I really do like this table and the kind of the wood tones that go with it. And the rest of the flat, I do choose to add a bit of a nice dark blue. I do change the wood paint to like wood paneling because I thought it added a little bit extra dimension and made it look a little bit less flat. So I do change that later, and then I do add a lot more white in there because I do feel with a lot of like the city living apartments in the art district, they're a lot more modern, they're a little bit less traditional, a bit more contemporary, and I did add in quite a lot of the dine out stuff, game pack items, because I did think that they work quite well on maybe the cluttered side of it, that it's a little bit all over the place. There's a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but I do really like that end table. I don't know what you would call it, but one of my all-time favorite plant things is that little hanging wall of plants. You saw I put in the dining room, but sometimes I like merging it into the wall to make it look like the plants are hanging. I do end up taking that away because it was like clipping a little bit too much, and it worked well just with the having it fully out when I changed the white colour. And as always, exposed brick. Who doesn't like a little bit of exposed brick? Adds a little bit extra dimension to the house. And yeah, I think that's mostly it at the moment for the build, and I still don't really know what to talk about in these sorts of voiceovers. It's still only my second one. I am feeling a little bit better in this one in comparison to my first one. Definitely was very awkward in that one. I added some music over in the background just to kind of hush out my awkward silences over me like, what am I going to say next? So I probably will do that again in this one, because at least you don't have to listen to my awkward silences. But yeah, it's still kind of confusing on what to talk about. Like, do people really want to listen to this sort of stuff? But I guess that makes it more interesting than listening to watching a video of me doing a build with just music in the background. So at least it adds a bit of personality to this build. Now, as you can see, I'm moving on to the living room. So I'm always lost for words when it comes to this sort of thing. But I use at the moment, it matches the blue of there we go. Now I changed it to yellow, and I was thinking, maybe I could have like contrasting, like maybe different chairs, as if they've gone to like a craft sale, like, you get like the festival where you can buy offhand furniture. And I was thinking, maybe they could have two different forms of the same chair, but they couldn't buy them in the same color. But I do end up changing that to just two yellow ones when near the end of the build, when I start to realize, maybe a running yellow theme would work well in this build. And I really do think it did. I was quite happy on how this build turned out. I did have a bit of like struggle on trying to like work out on where to put how to furnish the bathroom and stuff. But I really, really do like how I did the bedroom in this house. I made it look like they had curtains dividing from the wardrobe into the bedroom, and I thought that was a really nice way to do it. The reason why I always struggle on how to do the bathroom is in these sorts of builds, I always like putting in the laundry. I really like that stuff pack. I think it added a nice dimension to The Sims, and I just like the realism of it, and that you have to do laundry makes it feel a little bit more, not required, but it just gives them a little bit of structure to their lives, I think, sometimes, because when I play The Sims, I sometimes they never leave the house. It's like me, never leaves the house. No, I do leave the house, but it's the fact that it makes it feels like there's more things to do in the house instead of it's just constantly skill building. It's like, oh, they just have the monotony of doing laundry, and I always forget about that. I always get to the end of the build and I'm like, where am I going to put the washing machine? And it's not like in this one I can put the clothes dryer in because there's no balcony. So I had to find out a way to work in the washer and the dryer. I do stick them in the bathroom, but I didn't feel it worked with it. So I do end up getting rid of I end up putting it in the kitchen and getting rid of the 2 counters and end up putting it in the kitchen because I thought that looked quite nice. Well, it didn't look quite nice, it's just it was just a handy place to put it. And sometimes in some of my friends' homes and stuff, they have like their laundry in their kitchen, not normally the dryer, but definitely the washing machine. But in The Sims 4, it's not like this apartment has a balcony, and it's not like there's dry cleaners that exists, so it had to be, and there had to be the washer and the dryer in there, otherwise they're going to be having damp laundry for the rest of their life, and that's not particularly nice. So yeah, I'm kind of just like filling up the rest of the dead space at the moment with maybe speakers and extra little bits of clutter, because I wanted to make it a little bit more lived in, and if they are kind of like an artsy person, to add like little weird aspects to the build, like those little pots that came with Jungle Adventure, just made it look like they'd like maybe had a little bit of a hoarder and they collected things to make it look like it was lived in. I know I'm repeating myself at this point, but what I really liked, I think I used the new plant, that one, and I thought that was like a little nice, nice addition. I wish though that pot came in a nice yellow colour, because the blue was nice, but I wish there was the yellow, because then it worked instead of having it all blue in that little section. I do change the colour of those 3 paintings that come from Cats and Dogs, I think it was. I do change those because I thought that was a nice, it made look better with a different colour. And here what I kind of liked was that I thought maybe they could have attached things to the wooden slats. Don't know why, but I thought it was just a little bit too, there wasn't enough going on in that section when there was like so much going on the other wall. I thought it looked nice having some like decor which was on the other side. Maybe adds the little bit of extra dimension because it's chunky, and then the tapestry if they're artsy, and then this is when I start adding in the yellow to the build, because I found that nice yellow tapestry that came with Jungle Adventure, and I thought, and then it's like when I find one item, and then I'm like, oh, I like that colour, and then I will change the whole colour scheme of the apartment to literally fit that one item. What can you do? I thought it was a really nice addition, and that's when I started bringing in like the yellow dining chairs and changed that wine picture to the yellow wine glass, and that's when I had both the colours of the there you go, you can see both yellow for the living room chairs, there we go. And I do love that tall plant that came with the base game. I'm not particularly the biggest fan of plants that came with base game, but that one is a really nice one. I also thought it looked quite nice having that plant decor behind the TV and the behind the desk. I thought it looked nice. No, not really much explanation to go behind that one, but I just thought it looked nice. I can't really remember what else there is. Oh yeah, I've still got the bathroom and the living room, the bathroom and the bedroom to go, and I was like, I can't remember how much else is to go. But I do kind of add in some extra lamps, because I thought it looked a little bit nicer instead of constantly having like the spotlights above. Made it look a little bit more exciting, like when I took the screenshots and stuff. It just looked a little bit more, I don't know, nice. I hate the word nice, but I just liked the colours, and then I think I cut it out because I think that bit was a bit glitchy. So yeah, I shouldn't have used that lamp, because I think that was from bowling night stuff, and that's the only thing I've used from bowling night. I might change it because I haven't uploaded this to the gallery yet, but when this video does go live, the build will be on the gallery. I think I've play tested it to make sure it's all right, but I will check once again to make sure. But I think I might change that lamp just so that there's less stuff packs using this build. Oh yeah, I really struggled here to try and find curtains that worked. I was constantly trying to limit my curtains that I was using while trying to find colours that matched the yellow bed, and it was aggravating. And I always want to use those ones that come with Movie Hangout, but as always I keep trying to limit my pack use. So I think they came with either pets or they were like a free update set, and I used those. And then I think I added some Parenthood lights in because I was like, I don't care, they look cool. So yeah, I kind of added in the closet here and added that tree decor again in, but I always struggle sometimes with what paintings to use, because they're always like, oh, that looks so nice, and I'm like, oh, but then that means I've added another stuff pack in. And yeah, here it was really like slow, and I don't know why, and I couldn't really edit it out because then that would have been like the whole bedroom gone. So I hope you don't mind me leaving it in, but I wasn't sure why that was the case. And I felt like the mismatch bedside tables look quite cool. Added a little bit extra like city living sort of dimension to the house. And I do love those lights that came in the free update. I use like the little fairy lights to go across the window because I thought it looked cute. And that's the annoying thing though, with the fact that I can't change the windows there. They've got that annoying space on the right. And also the blinds don't fit because you've got a double and a single. It's not like I can have one double and or two singles. It's a double and a single, and it's really, and you've got to find the curtains that are wide enough for it, so it limits the use at which you have for the curtains, which is kind of annoying, but that's the way the apartments are built. Don't know what was going on there, but yeah. I think I'm just adding in some extra clutter here, finding some, as always what I do. Oh, there we go, I was adding in the brooms, but I think at the moment I'm just cluttering. Do let me know if you like seeing the clutter or you'd rather like have shorter videos. Now at this moment I haven't got the biggest of viewers, but the point is if you like the clutter, seeing me clutter these houses, do let me know. If you say, oh no, I'd rather have the video shorter, then it's absolutely fine. I don't mind editing it out. It's just sometimes that's the way I build, so it's quite nice to see the extra stuff in there. Like obviously with the bigger builds in which have the gardens and stuff, then I kind of average out the clutter and the landscaping. But I do, it's just a way, it's a part of my building, so I do like having the clutter in there. What you did see is I did change the wallpaper on the office side, because away from the exposed brick, because I thought it made it look a little bit more like that was their workspace sort of thing. That was where they worked. I know it was right by the front door, but I didn't mind that. Like sure, that you probably, if you wanted, you could add like a little like half wall in there or something to try and break it off from the work area to the front door. But so what if their office is by their front door? These people can see them what they're working. I think here I did decide on those little pieces of those little grass pots there, because I thought it looked cute underneath that painting. I wanted to have like the little long flower pot, but once I sized it down, you still had the shadow of the big one, so it didn't really work. And to kind of add the artsy feel again in the bedroom, I didn't realise that there was more swatches to those like set of paintings. I just thought it was just the one, and then I was like, oh, there's 3. So I added that behind the painting to make it look a little bit more lived in, and that they were like a painter who lived there. I wish I could have added a window there on the left. It would have looked nice, but instead I have to add pictures of pears. No, I can't remember what I put there. I think I put the yellow one. Oh, I can't remember what I do now. Oh, I'll just go a city landscape. Okay. It's just the fact that then that that wardrobe doesn't have a window, and it would look really nice. Let some natural light in, but I can't put any more in. Excuse me. Well, it looks like I used base game curtains there, and I did go a little bit over the top, and I used those beading, because I like doing that little door archway into the bedroom, just because it looks cute. And I think I add in, here we are, I'm going to add in the lamp lights, because I was like, maybe I'll limit my pack use on that, and I'm like, nope, I'm going to add the fairy lights in, and then I put them over the archway because it looked cute. What can you do, eh? I think, I did cut out a bit there because I think it was still quite laggy. So now I moved on to the bathroom. Oh, Jesus, it is laggy. But I think over in the right corner, I do add in the washer dryer there, but I didn't record me changing around. I did do a little bit of edits off camera, just to kind of like, just added in a few extra bits, just to make it look like I moved the, that was when I play tested it, that was like when I moved the washer and dryer into the kitchen. I know I have I know I have play tested it, because I had like hanging pots in the kitchen, and then they didn't work, so I had to cut those out. I had to delete those. So I do remember I have play tested this, but I haven't uploaded it to the gallery as of yet. University is still busy and stuff, so finding time to do all of this stuff. Like, I think I started this build last week, but I edit it bit like day by day, and then like I'm do the voice day one day, and then I edit it a bit more the next day, that sort of thing. So I think I'm coming up to the screenshots now, because it was a little bit laggy, so I cut quite a lot out. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope to still kind of do like videos once a week. I do feel like I'm getting a lot better at this, so thanks for anybody who's sticking around. This build will be on the gallery when this video is up. Under the same ID, Simstasis, I've kind of tried to like get a full ID which I can have shared across all my across all platforms. So on my origin ID, YouTube, Twitter, is all Simstasis. Thank you very much for tuning in again on my second video. I really am getting into this a bit more now, and do feel a little bit better on my voiceovers, so hopefully that does get a bit better. Still probably will have the background music to avoid those awkward pauses, but there you go. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope to thank you very much for watching. Do subscribe, like, comment, do all those lovely YouTube things, and I hope to speak to you all again soon. Thank you, and bye!